My name is Max James, and as always, I am one half of the Two-Ton Nerds, and tonight is night 10 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project presented by the Two-Ton Nerds. This week's theme has been 7 psychopaths, and tonight's psychopath I will be profiling is Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. It's probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time, along with Nightmare on Elm Street, so I have a lot to say about this movie. So, as always, I'll be right back in a few seconds to do my movie breakdown. I just got done watching American Psycho. We'll get right into my little movie breakdown, and I got 6 categories to go through, and first one up is the plot. The plot of the movie centers around our psychopath for tonight, Patrick Bateman, and his little killing spree. As the movie goes on, he kind of starts to very lose it badly. That's kind of like the plot of the movie, and even the deaths kind of of the movie kind of get ramped up in intensity as well. And then there's also a little plot line kind of going through where he kills one of his members, his fellow workmates, and and there's a detective going around trying to figure out who killed him, and he's freaking out because he might get caught, and that's kind of the plot of the movie. 2 is the locations. The locations of the movie takes place in several different restaurants. Then you got Patrick Bateman's apartment and office, and that's about it. Then like various street sidewalks and stuff like that. You got number 3 is the stars of the movie. The stars of the movie is Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman. You got Reese Witherspoon as Cecilia as his girlfriend. You got Samantha Mathis as the mistress. You might recognize her as Princess Peach from the Mario Brothers movie. You got Jared Leto. You might recognize him as 30 Seconds to Mars lead singer, or Fight Club, the dude who gets his face bashed in by Edward Norton. Then you got Willem Dafoe. You might recognize him as well from Fight Club and Spider-Man, and just a bunch of random other movies as well. And Justin Theroux, you might recognize him from the second Charlie's Angels, or he wrote Iron Man 2. Then you got number 4 is the special effects / makeup. The makeup for the movie is very good. They all look like they're clean and put together. That's because sometimes if you have, they just look put together in this movie. Then you got special effects. The special effects in the movie is very limited, and because this movie isn't really about special effects, except for like there's one scene in the movie where he drops his chainsaw through the stairwell from the top floor, and it's kind of like falling. That was actually looked decently, really well, real. That's what I'm trying to get. It looks real. Then you got number 5 is the deaths. The deaths in the movie get ramped up in intensity as the movie goes on, as his mental state is kind of going away as well. You got first off is the hobo and this dog. What makes this one weird in a way, this one's kind of start off with a bang, is because he kind of starts like, hey, I'm going to help you get a job and all that good stuff, and here's some money, and then all of a sudden he just kind of like, I'm not going to help you, and he ends up stabbing him and killing the dog as well. Then then he starts meeting people on the sidewalk. Then it kind of implies that they killed him because he's at the dry cleaners with bloodstained sheets. Then another one he met on the street where you don't see her die, but when he opens the fridge to get some yogurt, you can see her head in the refrigerator. I think one of Jeffrey Dahmer, I think that's what he did, according to Wikipedia, I do believe. I'm probably wrong on that one as well. I'm wrong on a bunch of the serial killer stuff. Then you got the most notable death is one of the prostitutes he picks up on the street. She manages to kind of break free from him killing another person, but he kind of manages to chase her down the hallway of the apartment, just in sneakers and with a chainsaw. And as she's running down the stairwell, he kind of times it out, and he drops the chainsaw through the stairwell and just like lands in the side of her. and he is just like nuts at this point in the movie. And that's about the big notable death in the movie. Then at the end, he kind of goes on a big killing spree, and he kind of, there's this one point where he blows up a cop car and he just kind of looks at the gun like, okay, and he just kind of runs off again. I like that part. Then which leads me to the ending. I can't really talk about the ending in this one because it's left up to the viewer, because the viewer might have a different opinion on what is going on. It's one of those movies. I'm not going to tell you mine because I really want someone who has never seen this movie to kind of go in with an open mind. Then I got a seventh category. The music, the soundtrack of this movie. This soundtrack for this movie is very good. There's only one other horror movie on this list that has a really good soundtrack, and I'll get into that one when I get there. But the soundtrack for this movie is Huey Lewis, Phil Collins. You got Robert Palmer, then you also got, he kind of mentions Whitney Houston in the movie, but I think there's a little bit of her music playing in the background while she's talking. That's all I'm going to say about this movie, but I highly recommend it, even though it's not for everybody, but I do recommend it. So, my name is Max James, and as always, I am one half the Two Ton Nerds, and I'm going to go geek out.